first of three between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, who come into town for the final time this year. And they find themselves on the outside looking in with respect to a playoff position. And they've changed the lineup considerably. Let's take a look at the starting nine for Terry Francona's men. And they have two new members, including Victor Martinez, who comes over from Cleveland. And at the bottom of the order, Alex Gonzalez returns to Boston. He was acquired from Cincinnati. Our focus today on Kevin Youkilis, hitting .367 against the Blue Jays, and he is back from suspension. He'll play here tonight, the place where he made his major league debut. And they'll go up against Ricky Romero. His numbers are presented to you by Ford. This is Ford Today Drive One.
20th start of the year for Ricky Romero's last time out. He had another quality start, 6 innings, 3 runs given up against the New York Yankees. That was a no decision. He has won 3 of his last 4 decisions. His numbers all the way around are very good. This is rookie season. Let's take a look at the scouting report for the Toronto Blue Jays starter tonight, Ricky Romero. His fastball has very good life. I've talked to some of the players, and they said that ball gets on you very quickly. It's a surprise fastball, 93, 94 miles an hour. Stay in the zone versus Boston. We've talked about that already. 8 1/3 innings pitched, 10 base on balls, and give me 6. He has pitched at least 6 innings in 12 of his last 14 starts, so he has been a rock for Cito Gaston this year.
He went 6 innings in his last outing Wednesday at Yankee Stadium, though the Blue Jays lost in 11 as we set up the Jays defensively.
Travis Snyder. Let's take a look at right field. Alex Rios is now with the White Sox. It's time to move on to the next player, and that guy is Snyder. He gets to start in right field tonight. Everyone else, this is the team that we have seen that has caught the ball very well this year.
It's about time, too. His numbers have been sensational down in AAA. And he's back up with a big club. And watching from right field as Ricky Romero kicks and fires. It's time to play some baseball tonight here at the Rogers Center as the Boston Red Sox come to town for the final time. And they've got Jacoby Ellsbury leading off, hitting .297. A dangerous man if he gets on base, as Romero deals the 0-1 down and in.
You know, if you look at the numbers that the Red Sox have put up this year offensively, defensively, pitching, you say, how are they not in the playoff picture right now? They're right on the outside looking in, like you said. But you look at their offensive numbers. Number 1 in the American League in doubles, 4th in homers, 4th in RBIs, runs scored. On-base percentage up there, total bases 6th, and yet there's a few teams ahead of them.
They cannot match the Yankees right now, who are starting to pull away in the American League East. Now a 7-game lead on Boston. As Romero steps off here and collects himself on 2-2 against Ellsbury. The big problem for Romero in his first 2 starts against the Red Sox, walks, a combined 10 over 2 games.
Well, you know, walks and base runners. 21 base runners in those 2 starts are not going to get it done. So he said he has gone back. He has looked at film, trying to find what he did wrong in those 2 starts. First thing you have to do is you got to get ahead strike 1. You've got to be all over that strike zone, because the Red Sox do such a good job at working the count and getting on base.
Three balls and 2 strikes on Ellsbury. Romero making his 20th start of the year. He looks in on Barajas. Here comes the pitch, and it's taken foul. Romero right now is making a run at the Rookie of the Year award. Only 2 Blue Jays in their history have ever won it. Go back to 1979 when Alfredo Griffin was a co-winner along with John Castino of the Minnesota Twins, and most recently Eric Hinsky back in 2002. Here's the 3-2 again, and that is strike 3. Down goes Ellsbury as the veteran Tim McClellan punches him out.
We've watched Tim McClellan for years, and you've got to hold that position because he's very late at calling it, but nothing wrong with this pitch. Romero surprises him. Remember, we talked about the fastball that surprises hitters with some 93, 94 mile an hour speed to it, freezes Ellsbury for the first out.
So J.D. Drew, another left-handed hitter, steps in, and he waves at the first one. He's late on it, in fact. Keeping in mind, left-handers have hit .297 this year against Romero.
What a surprise. Righties hitting .244, lefties .297. When you have left-handers with a good breaking ball like Ricky Romero has and a good changeup, the numbers are usually the other way around.
Not in this case, but in this battle against Drew, Ricky is 0-2. As he kicks in, delivers low, a ball and 2 strikes. Newly acquired Victor Martinez is on deck for the Red Sox. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. They picked themselves up a very good hitter from Cleveland.
It cost them some good young players that were targeted by the Indians. But they felt they needed another bat.
Base hit to right field as Hill had backed into a shift against Drew. And so he muscles one into right for a base hit.
Drew does a good job of staying on a breaking ball that is elevated by Romero. You see the shift on the right side, and it's just out of the reach of Aaron Hill for Drew's hit. He now has a 3-game hit streak.
Victor Martinez kicks some dirt around the batter's box and steps in. When you go out and acquire a player like Victor Martinez, from a management perspective, you love to see him get off to a good start, and Martinez has done just that. Since the acquisition July 31st, he's hit .311 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs in just 14 games. Here's the 1-0 pitch as the Cleveland Indians continue to disassemble their team with the loss of Cliff Lee. They traded him to Philadelphia. Now perhaps their best hitter goes to the Boston Red Sox.
Everything has been good for the Boston Red Sox except the record, 5-9 in the 14 games since Victor Martinez has come over. He's reached base in 11 of those 14 games, so he's doing his thing, which is see a lot of pitches and put good at bats at the plate.
This one is fielded by Romero. Lots of time to second and back to first for the double play. It starts with Romero, ends with Overbay, and it gets the Blue Jays out of the first inning. So when we come Tampa Bay series, he was on base on 6 occasions and scored 3 times, including a home run late in the final game on Sunday. And this lineup simply has a different look with Travis Snyder up from the minor leagues and batting ninth. They've got some power down there against a power pitcher who tonight makes his 24th start, Josh Beckett.
And he has been hot, 14-4 for the season with an ERA just north of 3. Opponent's batting average is great. He has won his last 3 decisions, and he is really stepping to the plate as the ace of this pitching staff. After the All-Star break, his numbers are fantastic. 3-1 with an ERA of 2.2. His strikeout to walk ratio has been outstanding since the All-Star break, also 5-1.
Marco Scutaro hitting right at 300, rolls it down the third base side. It's backhanded by Lowell, and Scutaro is a quick out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Let's take a look at the defense that will play behind Josh Beckett tonight. There's some Gold Glovers out there. One of them, I think, is going to be Jason Bay. He has not committed an error this year. He will man left field. Ellsbury and Drew form the outfield. Euclid has won a Gold Glove. Mike Lowell has won a Gold Glove over at third base. They just picked up Gonzalez, the shortstop, and he's a wizard with the glove. So they are much better defensively than the team that we saw earlier this year.
Here's Aaron Hill having a terrific season, leading the Blue Jays in hits, in home runs, and RBIs. There's the breaking ball from Beckett. 1 ball and 1 strike. In fact, Hill with 145 base hits, 7th most in the American League. The hits leader by a long shot is Ichiro Suzuki with 175, as that pitch is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Hill.
But I bet you he doesn't have the power and the production that we have seen from Aaron Hill. Which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the speed and the leadoff type of hitter, or the power? I'm taking the power, because this game, you got to score runs, and that is what Aaron Hill has been doing this year, creating runs. 28 home runs and 80 driven in. He's also scored 70.
And he's got a 3-1 count here against Beckett. And he rips that one into the corner, and Hill charges for the bag at first, turns for second, and has a 1-out double here in the first inning.
The Red Sox play defense, or at least they set their defense up a lot like the Blue Jays, where they play percentages and really squeeze the middle of the diamond. This time it's going to backfire. Look how far Mike Lowell is off the bag. Playing in closer to the infield. That time Hill rips him right by him, crosses him up, and picks up the double.
So his 23rd double of the season puts him at second. And it brings up Adam Lind. Lind is hitting a very respectable 283 this year with runners in scoring position. And Pat, if you look up and down the lineup and assess the numbers between these Blue Jay hitters and Josh Beckett, almost all of them are hitting around 300 or even higher against this power pitcher.
We looked at some of the numbers today. Astonishingly, guys are hitting 400, 350, 420 with great power numbers. Where do you see Vernon Wells' number against Josh Beckett? Beckett's career earned run average against the Blue Jays, and this is the first time they have seen him this year, is almost 6. It's approaching 6, the highest of against any major league team that he has faced at least 5 times in starts.
2 strikes and now 1 ball.
He has given up 39 earned runs in 59 innings in his career versus the Jays. Most versus any club. And that one is hard to understand.
He takes his time and now comes to the plate with a breaking ball that is hit in the air to center field for Ellsbury. He's there to make the play and brings it in quickly as Hill is stuck at second. And before Overbay comes up, let's get a scouting report on Josh Beckett.
Well, he has always been a top of the rotation type of starter because he can command with an excellent fastball. Mid-90s, he can get it up there, but it's the command that has been so good. And he's got that knee-buckling breaking ball. It's a 2-plane type of curveball. It's here and then it's down there. And he is a hot pitcher. 12-2 3 runs or less in 15 of his last 18 starts.
And since the beginning of May, he's only lost twice. And both of those losses came in hitter-friendly ballparks. Citizens Bank in Philadelphia and Ameriquest Field down in Texas.
A couple of pretty decent hitting teams in those ballparks. Terry Francona was talking about Josh Beckett after his last start in Detroit, saying that he was establishing that he was going to use his fastball. And the key in that game, that he got first pitch strikes 19 of the 24 batters that he faced. It's always important.
Now here's Lyle Overbay, who has succeeded this month hitting 4th. Although he comes off an 0 for 4 Sunday in the loss in Tampa Bay. Beckett runs that breaking ball inside. It's 2 balls and a strike.
You see the 7 RBIs for Lyle Overbay this month, built with the 3 home runs. Looking at his numbers, he only drove in 2 runs in the whole month of July.
Streaky.
Couldn't believe it.
Streaky.
Yes.
But when he's hot, awfully productive.
Saw him in New York last week. Drove in 5 runs in the 2 games.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And that is a breaking ball down. 3-2 now on Overbay. Terry Francona really had to mix up the lineup late because of an injury to Jason Varitek. That's one reason why you see Victor Martinez catching. Initially, Martinez was supposed to be the DH tonight. And he awaits the 3-2. Here it comes. And that is strike 3. As the old delayed call from Tim McClellan has Lyle Overbay wondering why it wasn't ball 4. But here's a look from behind home, and you be the judge. Turn a triple play either tonight or tomorrow night. One lucky fan wins $1 million courtesy of Ericsson in the Ericsson Triple Play Challenge, and the company will then donate another $1 million to the Blue Jays Care Foundation. So if you're sitting around in the Toronto area, want a chance at $1 million, I know it's a long shot, but we've seen it happen before. Come on down here tomorrow night and see the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. As Kevin Youkilis, back from suspension, steps in and takes strike 1.
As a hitter, when you feel like a pitcher is throwing at you, and I got the sense that Porcello was throwing at him. I mean, he hit him right between the 2 and the 0 on his back. Had a discussion with Fergie Jenkins about that this weekend, but we'll talk about that later. As a hitter, you have to charge them out. You have to do what you did. Go after him. You have to stand your ground. What you can't do is get body slammed by the pitcher.
Which he did. And this one is aired out to left field. That ball is off the base of the wall, picked up by Wells and brought in as Youkilis leads off the second with a double.
Sammy Cause was talking about it in the pregame show. He got back just in time because he loves facing Ricky Romero. Something about it. He sees the ball better, picks out a good pitch here. Belt high right at inner half right here from Youkilis, and he's got that little uppercut as he lifts the ball to left field. Not going to go out at that part of the ballpark when it's open like this. But Youkilis opens the second with a double.
Here's Jason Bay now. And his numbers are tremendous. 25 home runs. Bay's up for free agency at the end of the year, so he's picked a good time.
Yeah, we have known that Jason Bay is a good player. Played in Pittsburgh, so maybe he was under the radar a little bit. People didn't get a chance to watch him on national television. I don't know how many times the Pirates were on national television, but his numbers have been so good.
Well, here's another indication that he was flying under the radar in Pittsburgh. He was the leading vote getter among American League outfielders with over 4 million votes leading into this All-Star game. Playing with Pittsburgh, you're not going to get 4 million votes.
Well, you got to get people at the ballpark
first and foremost
to do that.
And he drills this ball down the left field line. Here comes Lind a long way, and it's out of play.
The thing with him, though, is the consistency. That he'll put up his 25, 30 home runs, his 100 RBIs. Since the beginning of the 2004 season, he has the 5th most home runs in all of baseball. 169 home runs, and I think that's just going to go up playing for the Red Sox in Fenway Park.
And yet look at him. He's not one of those muscle-bound home run type hitters. He's strong enough.
Yeah.
Decent size, but not Manny Ramirez big.
He's got a quick bat. He's got a very quick bat. Hitting home runs is the bat speed from when you load to when you get through the strike zone. In Bays, he'll strike out a lot, but he'll hit you a lot of home runs.
2-2 here as Romero works the second inning. Youkilis is on second with a double. Nine starts at home and a very respectable 6-3 as he faces Bay, throws the 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Romero started the first game for the Blue Jays after the All-Star break. Here at home against Boston and only went 4 1/3. He gave up 4 runs over that time and walked 5. Here comes the 3-2 pitch, and it's taken foul. And Romero was one of the few Toronto Blue Jays who actually stayed around Toronto for the duration of the All-Star break, because he felt after getting schooled by the Red Sox the first time out at the end of May, he wanted to be prepared. He didn't want to go off and sit on some beach for 3 days and think about the second half of the season. Wanted to stay in his routine. And unfortunately for Romero, it did not work out, and he walks Jason Bay here. 2 on and nobody out for the Red Sox in the second. So there's the situation that greets Mike Lowell. And Lowell with 17 RBIs in his last 16 games.
Good production for Lowell. He's had the hip problem, and this is a little bit of a milestone as he steps to the plate here.
Indeed it is. This is game number 1,500 for Lowell in the big leagues, who not long ago was cast off by the Florida Marlins in, for the most part, a salary dump when Josh Beckett was acquired.
Yeah,
and since then, the throw-in. Well, the throw-in won a World Series MVP.
43rd active player to reach 1,500 big league games. He's always been a good RBI guy in these situations like this. He really closes it off and thinks right center field, left center field, doesn't try and pull the ball. That's why he's been a very good RBI guy.
One and two on Lowell. 2 on, nobody out. Here's the pitch from Romero, and it's looped out to right field. It drops for a base hit. Youkilis advances 1 base, and here are loaded bases. Nobody out, and look who's coming up. David Ortiz.
See what I mean? How Lowell just shuts down the left side of the field. He doesn't want to overcommit. He's thinking middle of the field, and that allows him to stay on this curveball down and away. Yeah, he broke his bat, but he had plate coverage and dumps it in front of Snyder to load him up.
Believe it or not, Ortiz was a late addition to this lineup after the injury to Jason Varitek. Terry Francona had to shift some players around, and Ortiz gets in. He was originally slated to come off the bench. What an opportunity here. Bases loaded, and the first pitch is strike 1. And it used to be back in the old days when Ortiz and Ramirez hit 3 and 4. Left-hander, right-hander, it never mattered. He was always in the everyday lineup.
And they were always coming up in big situations late in the game. It was Ramirez and then Ortiz, or vice versa. And they always came through, it seemed like. A little bit different now. This is a pitch that he used to create. A hanging breaking ball. Rob Barajas wants that back. Look how he has to reach back to the middle part of the plate to get that ball.
0-2. And here comes Romero. Tries to get Ortiz to fish at 1. And it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Changeup is such a big part of Ricky Romero's repertoire. He has got to throw it for strikes. Early in this game, he has had trouble commanding that changeup. That's about the 3rd ball that we have seen in the dirt from the change.
The 1-2 is high. 2-2. You've always said in situations like this, Pat, the pressure is squarely on the shoulders of the pitcher.
He's got to come to you. He's got to make a pitch to get you out. So you have to find that weakness if you're the pitcher and then try to exploit it.
Out to left field, and that is a base hit for Ortiz. Youkilis comes in to score. Here's Bay rounding. As Lowell heads for 3rd on the double by Ortiz, and the Red Sox jump out on top 2-0.
The hit by Youkilis has really been the only hard hit ball this inning, but this is just plate coverage and the ability to fight off tough pitches. From high home, you can see that that ball is going to be off the plate, but Ortiz just kind of slaps at it. And he's going to have 2 RBIs. 25 doubles now for Ortiz. 2nd and 3rd, still nobody out.
The number 8 hitter and second baseman is Nick Green. He fouls off the first one, and Green has been a survivor this year. He's been given opportunity here due to injuries to people like Jed Lowry, the release of Julio Lugo.
And now no Dustin Pedroia tonight.
No Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia is back home in Boston with his wife. They're awaiting the birth of their first child. and may in fact be around for tomorrow night's game. The 1-1 on the way, swung on and missed. And let's bring in Sam Cosentino.
Well, Jamie, news to bring you on Dustin Pedroia, who returned today and actually made it home in time for the birth of his first child, Dylan. Apparently mother and child are doing well, but there is no timetable set for his return. Most likely back to the series for the third game of the set.
Thank you, Sam, and congratulations to the Pedroias as Nick Green swings at the breaking ball and strikes out as Romero has his first out of the inning.
You like to see those outs with no runners move up. Green is going to swing over a curveball. Can't advance the runners. Great opportunity there. Second and third, nobody out, just to push the ball to the right side. Get him over, get him in. But Romero buckles down and gets a big strikeout.
Two runners in scoring position. Neither one of them moves very well as Alex Gonzalez reaches for that. Yet another new face in Boston's lineup, just picked up from the Cincinnati Reds on Saturday. This is his second go with the Red Sox. He played a full season with them in 2006.
Brought over for his glove. He is excellent with the glove. Numbers offensively not there.
We were watching him in batting practice take ground balls at short, and you said, watch the hands.
Yeah, he's quick. I mean, it's almost like when the guy's hitting it, the coach hitting him ground balls, when he's turning to, looks like the ball's ricocheting off of a wall to second base. He's that good. We'll have to find out, though, if he got his batting gloves and his mitts since being traded over. He's been using Jed Lowry's glove and batting gloves and things like that. We'll have to send Sam on that.
That's his assignment tomorrow.
See if the shipment made it here to Toronto.
Two strikes now on the number 9 hitter. The pitch, and Gonzalez holds up.
Another changeup. Another one in the dirt. If he can control that, that's just another thing that he'll put in the minds of hitters. But right now he is bouncing it, so hitters can just take it and just forget about it. And basically, Ricky Romero becomes a two-pitch pitcher.
And now Barajas calls time. Romero backs off. Two runs have scored for the Red Sox in this inning. On a walk and 3 hits. Ortiz bringing in 2 with a double. 2 strikes on Gonzalez. And that ball is fouled away. Romero trying to beat the Red Sox for the first time in his career. This is try number 3, and that breaking ball is off the plate. 3-2.
Tried the curveball last time. Now he's going to try another curveball. Goes around the plate.
On the ground, Scudero looks to home, but gets Gonzalez at first and keeps Ortiz parked at second base. So the Red Sox had one more. It's now 3-0.
Scudero heads up. You mentioned it about the runners with not a lot of speed. Watch Lowell with the infield back. He's going to go as soon as it clears, and now Scudero knows who's running, and Lowell does not run that well. Had thoughts of maybe going home, but gets the sure out over at first. 3 runs now for the Red Sox here in the second.
And it brings up Jacoby Ellsbury again. Ellsbury struck out in the first. With 2 away here in the second, he's got Ortiz at second. And he rips this one into right field. Ortiz is waved around third. Here comes the throw. Overbay to home, and Ortiz is safe. On the play, Ellsbury advances to second, and the Red Sox lead it 4-0.
It looked like when the ball got to Snyder, as Ellsbury rips it in the right field hard enough that they had a shot at getting Ortiz at the plate. The throw looked like it was on line and looked like it had enough on it, but it's cut off by Overbay. By the time that he turns around and gets it to Barajas, you see Barajas' left leg. That's the anchor leg that you use to block the plate. Throw pulls him up a little bit and gets him out of the way, and that allows Ortiz to slide in back door. I think that's what Overbay is talking with Aaron Hill about, is did that throw have enough on it? As the cutoff man, you have to judge. You got to take a quick look and see where that runner is, and then judge if that throw is going to be on line, on target. Preferably, you want to line yourself up with the catcher and the right fielder right in line, and judge if that ball is tailing or not. It looked like it was going to be a good throw.
There comes Drew again then. And he swings and misses for strike one. Now 4 hits in the inning, 4 runs scored, and an early lead on the snake-bitten Ricky Romero when it comes to facing these Red Sox.
It's a very interesting defensive alignment with some speed at second base. Look at, there's nobody around second. Encarnacion, the third baseman, has to be close to third in case Ellsbury takes off. J.D. Drew has a wide open field right up the middle. He has to basically hit a ground ball to the shortstop and would have an RBI single. That's how big the hole is between Scudero and Encarnacion. Look at it. Still no defenders. Still no defenders. As we keep pulling out, look at that. Hit a ground ball to shortstop, and it's 5-0.
He pops it up into left field. And there is Adam Lind. He puts it away, and finally the inning comes to an end. But the Red Sox score 4 times on 4 hits. Lucky contestant will win a 52-inch Sharp Aquos LCD TV with full array LED backlight and the lowest power consumption of any TV available today. Plus, a Blu-ray disc player. Aquos LED, the evolution of LCD TV, continues to enter. And find out more, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Well, the Red Sox haven't hit a home run, but they do have a 4-0 lead, and in steps a man who's hit 5 of them against Josh Beckett. Here's Vernon Wells. In 28 career at-bats against Beckett, Wells hits .321 with 5 home runs, 2 of them coming in one game.
I remember that one. That was right here.
He actually hit 3.
Yeah.
Because he got one off a reliever late in the ball game. He sends this one to center field, but it's playable for Ellsbury, and he's there for out number 1. Keep in mind, baseball fans, you can always watch the game on your computer at home. It's the ultimate baseball experience. 100 out-of-market games. It is MLB.tv. For details, please visit BlueJays.com, where baseball is always on.
Now that is really cool.
Isn't that something? Modern technology. High definition. I'm sure many of you are watching on HD back home. Hope you're enjoying the pictures tonight on a brilliant evening, as Randy Ruiz makes his Blue Jay debut at home, and he belts it to center field. This ball is sailing and sailing on out of here. This kid does it again. That's number 3 as a Jay.
I've done 3 games since he's been recalled, and he has homered in all of them. Down the right field line at Yankee Stadium, and the absolute bomb to left center. Now this ball is driven. Fastball away, and he leans on it. Watch how he extends. Full extension through. And the ball just carries to right center field on a line.
You know, it begs a question. Why did we not see this kid, and he's not a kid, he's 31, earlier in the year? His numbers throughout were terrific at AAA, and he comes up here. He's now hit safely in every game he's played with the Jays, all 6 of them, as Encarnacion pops this one up, and Gonzalez makes out number 2. Or even better yet, why did he spend 9 years in the minor leagues before getting a shot at the big leagues last year with the Minnesota Twins? Head-scratching questions.
We got to ask the baseball gods. I have no idea.
Well, he's up now, and he's making a name for himself.
Boy, impressive home runs also. I just got it out of my mouth in Yankee Stadium that, hey, nobody's going to hit a home run here to left center. Remember that?
That's right.
Last Wednesday,
yeah.
And boom.
Now Barajas flies to right field, and that's the 3rd out. But Ruiz, with his home run, his 3rd as a Blue Jay, puts Toronto on the board, and after 2. Night out, if you sit in the section, you get a pink Blue Jay cap, and one lucky fan will win lunch on Friday with me and Pat and Sam on the Jays. So You ladies out there, please join us at the ballpark on Thursday night. 416-341-1304 has information. So does BlueJays.com. We haven't picked a restaurant yet.
No, but it will be good.
We'll leave it up to Sam. That's his area of expertise. There's Victor Martinez leading off the third for the Red Sox. The lead now 3 after Ruiz goes deep. And it's 2-0 quickly on Martinez.
Victor Martinez is another one of those very consistent players. You see the numbers: 78 RBIs, 18 home runs. He leads all catchers since the 2004 season. In doubles, 154 RBIs with 410. He's a career 297 hitter. So the guy can flat out hit. He can produce runs for you. That ball is ripped into left center field. How nice is it for the Boston Red Sox when they are looking for a hitter, a guy who fits their style, if you will, and the production that he has out there at the trade deadline.
And he was a pretty important acquisition for the Red Sox in comparison to the Yankees, who decided we have all the players we need. We're not going to go out and make headlines with a big time acquisition. You can tell that perhaps the Red Sox are panicking oh so slightly, falling behind the Yankees and needing to do something. They obviously picked themselves up a very good player.
His value on top of being a good producer is he can play different positions. He can play first, he can catch. Now they have some interchangeable parts with Kevin Youkilis. If Mike Lowell needs some time off at third base, he can slide over the diamond to the other side there, help out.
The knock on Martinez in the early days with Cleveland was his throwing arm. I wonder
true.
if that's improved at all.
It has. I mean, he came up as an infielder, so he has just caught for like the last 6 or 7 years. So when he first came up, that was a big knock on him, holding the runners and throwing. Part of that has to do with the pitchers giving him a chance to throw runners out.
Well, here's Youkilis, who seems to see Ricky Romero so well. He doubled and scored in the second. Hit a home run against him in the first inning the last time they faced. And if there's one thing that Romero stated about facing the Red Sox, it's all of this. It's the fact that they all seem to work the count oh so well.
Youkilis is probably the best at doing just that. That 2-1 pitch was just off the plate, and he took it like he knew it was coming, and now sits 3-1.
And that's 3-2. His on-base percentage, second best in the American League to Joe Mauer of the Minnesota Twins.
And he is producing when it counts. These are his numbers against the American League East, hitting almost 400 against those very good pitching staffs.
Well, he draws a walk. And it's trouble again for Ricky Romero. 2 on, no one out in the third inning. And before Jason Bay makes his way into the batter's box, we check in on the big comfy chairs in the TD Canada Trust Comfort Zone. And enjoying the chairs is a TD charity, the Doug Purvis Foundation, courtesy of TD Canada Trust. A rocky start here for Ricky Romero as he now deals with Jason Bay. Bay drew a walk in that second inning and scored on the double by David Ortiz. Already the Blue Jays have action in their bullpen. This ball is flied into right field, and Snyder settles under it. He's got the first out. Romero looks back and sees Sean Kemp already warming.
The long man, Ryan Talbot and Sean Kemp, have held that down for the Blue Jays, and they've done a nice job this year as the long man. Ricky Romero's got to figure this out right now. Already at 66 pitches here in the third inning.
Strike one on Mike Lowell. And unlike Brett Cecil, who goes on Thursday, and Mark Zebchinski, who pitched Sunday in Tampa Bay, they don't have to put a watch on Romero's innings. Cito Gaston mentioned before the game that he will be in the rotation right through until the end of the year. As this ball is grounded to Scudero. 6-4 to 3, and that's exactly what Romero was hoping for. A quick out, in this case 2 of them, and it gets him out of the third inning without giving up a run. .29 ERA right here at the Rogers Center.
They have had trouble at other ballparks, Rangers, Angels, Oakland, Tropicana. But this is the place that has been the worst for the Boston Red Sox pitching staff.
Welcome back, Travis Snider, batting ninth and now facing Josh Beckett. It's been a while since we've seen Snider here. He was optioned to AAA on May 22nd. The 21-year-old from Kirkland, Washington, taken 14th overall by the Blue Jays back in 2006, and he's here to stay until the end of the year, and he'll play right field pretty well every day. It doesn't matter if there's a right-hander or a left-hander. He has proven his worth at AAA, and those numbers show you why he is now with a big club. He swings and misses there, 2-2.
If I remember when he got set down, pitchers were really challenging him with fastballs away and up. And he had trouble laying off those fastballs, especially up and in.
He drills this ball to left field. It's well hit, and it is out of here for a home run. Welcome back indeed, Travis Snider.
No trouble there with a fastball. Strike two is a fastball that Beckett threw by him. He tried to go inside. Looked like he was trying to bring it onto the inside part of the plate, but it floated out over the middle. And that is raw power right there. Left field, opposite field power. Second home run tonight hit by the Blue Jays.
That must feel so good for Travis Snider, who was admittedly bruised when he went down to AAA. And he'll tell you straight-faced, he did not take the demotion well at all. Kind of moped around Vegas for a while. Wasn't terribly committed. And then he really locked in down there and started to work on the things the Blue Jays had asked him to work on. And now here he is with something to prove. and that is he wants to stay here full time.
What? Don't you want young players to be upset when they get sent down?
Absolutely.
I would. I wouldn't want the guy if he gets sent to AAA and says, okay, no problem. I'd want a guy to be upset. I'd want him to get all fired up. Now, the moping part, I don't know if Travis Snider went down there, like you said, it was moping around or anything like that, but he went down there and figured out what he had to do and caught fire.
Scudero holds up on the breaking ball, and you might remember he spent a little bit of time down there on the disabled list with a back injury, and he says it may have been a blessing because he got away from the game for a little while, got a chance to think about the things he wants to accomplish, and gave him an opportunity to realize how important this game is to him. As this one rolls toward third, and Beckett lets it roll foul, so Scudero will come back. Now keep in mind, with 2 home runs hit already, we're only 1 away from awarding a lucky contestant a 52-inch Sharp Aquos LCD TV with LED backlight and Blu-ray disc player. Aquos LED, the evolution of LCD TV continues. To enter and find out more, please visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. A couple of solo shots from recent Jays too. Randy Ruiz just picked up from AAA a week and a half ago, and now Travis Snider in his first game back goes deep off Beckett.
Any other home run hitters down in Las Vegas?
If they are, somebody get a plane ticket.
Well, they're impressive home runs. Ruiz on a line to right center, and then Snider opposite way, generating that power to left field.
And when the Blue Jays got off to that terrific start in the first 6 weeks, you could look at that lineup every day and say, my, we have a young kid in the number 9 hole who can hit it out at any time, anywhere.
Pitchers started making adjustments to him. Went into a terrible slump, and then they said, you know what, we have to have him play every day.
Here's a line shot to left, but right at bay. And that's the first out. Josh Beckett has 14 victories. Roy Halladay would like to get one. His chance comes tomorrow. He'll face Clay Buchholz. And you can get your tickets now by calling that number, 416-341-1234. BlueJays.com has tickets, or visit select Rogers Plus locations. A pretty good matchup tomorrow as Buchholz, another one of those young players with something to prove, starts against Roy Halladay in game 2. And if you can't come down to the park, you can join us here on Rogers Sportsnet. We'll have the first pitch just after 7 o'clock Eastern time. With 1 away, back comes Aaron Hill, and he punched a double down the left field line, first time up against Josh Beckett. Beckett is the American League's only 14-game winner. Surprisingly, the lone man in the National League who has 14 wins and will pitch tomorrow is Adam Wainwright of the St. Louis Cardinals. As Beckett on the 2-1, runs it inside. Now 3-1 on Hill.
One of the problems that Josh Beckett has had in the past, and John Farrell was talking the other day, that when he gets himself into trouble, in the past he would try and throw harder and try and get out of the problems by throwing it by the hitter. The change in him this year is more, okay, when I find myself in these problems, I'm going to try easier. I'm going to make good pitches. I'm going to locate instead of trying to throw it by him. It has worked for him, especially this hot streak that he has been on. When he finds that he can't get guys out, he might drop a breaking ball on the corner or take a little something off his fastball and get the timing messed up on these hitters. There's a 3-2 breaking ball.
Youkilis goes out and makes the catch and takes care of Hill. Hey, let's get another word from Sam Cosentino.
Well, guys, you asked me to find out about Alex Gonzalez, his glove and his batting glove, so I did a little work behind the scenes and found out that that stuff will not arrive till tomorrow. It got lost in shipping from Cincinnati, so he's going to have to stick with the Jed Lowry model for now.
So it's his gloves and batting gloves. There it is.
There, yeah, you can see Jed Lowry stitched on the thumb. Well, Sam, thank you. I mean, you asked.
That's impressive.
Sam delivers. And that's why we pay him $4 an hour. He will do the work and get the information. As Adam Lind swings and misses, now 0-2. We told that story on Sunday in Tampa Bay. Carl Crawford's been using a minor leaguer's glove all year long. He showed up at spring training. His gamer wasn't broken in, so we traded with a minor league outfielder, and he's been using it all year. Made that great catch in the All-Star game. As Lynn drives this to the gap, left center field, and it rolls all the way up against the wall. And Ellsbury has a little trouble with it. Lind has a double. And so the Blue Jays are certainly getting their hits here against Josh Beckett. That's the second double of the game for the Jays, and it comes with 2 out.
Fourth extra base hit. He went to the well one too many times. Breaking ball. Got him with a strike 2, and then hangs this one. You double up or triple up on good hitters like an Adam Lind, they'll figure it out. It's what makes him such a good hitter, is his ability to hit the ball the other way. You're going to come up with extra base hits. And Adam Lind is now 2 away from Mark Teixeira for the most in the American League.
There's a swing and a miss from Lyle Overbay. And if Overbay learned anything from his first at bat against Beckett on 3-2, if it's close to the plate, you might want to swing, because he certainly did not agree with the called strike that ended the inning. He rips that one foul, 0-2, and now Beckett's in the driver's seat.
He was 0-2 on Adam Lind, couldn't put him away. That's been his problem this inning. Putting away hitters. He had 2 strikes on Snyder and he homered. 2 strikes on Adam Lind and he doubled. And now 2 strikes on Lyle Overbay.
Looks back and sees Lind at second. Breaking ball down and in, 2-2. Should Overbay reach safely, Vernon Wells is on deck. We've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Boston took a 4-0 lead after an inning and a half, but home runs by Randy Ruiz and Travis Snyder have cut the lead in half. There is strike 3 called. Once again, down goes Overbay looking. He does so for the 2nd time, and that leaves Lind at second. But the Jays Sox are contesting game one of a series. We don't have microphones on these gentlemen. We do want to acknowledge them, though, because Ben Jensen and Andrew Scott are our guests here. Ben here paid $5,000 to come up and see a broadcast here, and he's watching David Ortiz pump one into center field for a home run. And they're not that happy about seeing that. They're both Blue Jay fans, but our thanks to you guys for contributing to the Jays Care Foundation. They're going to sit here in the booth with us for an inning, and look what they saw, Pat.
Enjoy. If you like good baseball, David Ortiz is going to unload against Ricky Romero. They get the run back quickly. Romero's given up 16 home runs now, and it's a fastball right down Broadway. How many times have we seen David Ortiz with that pose after smoking the ball to right center field? They get that run back awfully quick.
So it's now 5-2 as Nick Green steps in. Ortiz now with 17 home runs since June 6th. Remember how long it took him to hit one, and he finally got that one off Brett Cecil.
That's right.
In the first series the Blue Jays played in Boston in May.
Wasn't even supposed to play tonight. Was not in the original lineup.
No, he was not. And this is well stroked, and it is dropped by Snyder. So Green has two. Well, Travis Snyder certainly got there, but he couldn't make the catch.
Yeah, the route was kind of like a Z. He went back, he went over, and then he had to go back again. Green gets behind this one and hits it hard to right center field. Here comes Travis Snyder trying to make the over-the-shoulder catch. See how he's diving back, and it hits off of his glove. Ball might have fooled him a little bit. I was talking with Cito Gaston before the game today, and I was asking him about Travis Snyder playing left field, and now he's over in right field. He says it's hard for young players to go from left field to right field because the ball's going to do different things. That time from a right-handed batter, remember the ball's always going to go towards the line. A right-handed batter is going to slice a ball out to you. A left-handed batter is going to hook a ball out to you. And I think that ball fooled Snyder in that way, that it took off on him and then kind of slides back over his shoulder. Just could not come up with the circus catch.
So charge Snyder with an error. Put Green at second. Bring up Alex Gonzalez. Gonzalez grounded into an out in the second inning, but drove in a run at the same time. He gets a word of advice there from DeMarlo Hale, the third base coach.
They might want to play for another run here. Gonzalez just came over from the Reds, so not real familiar with the signs. Yeah, they might have been telling him, hey, let's put one down.
He pushes one up, and he's there safely. That seemed to catch the Jays by surprise.
Don't know why. I mean, he went down there to talk to him. He was trying to get the runner over there to third base. He just bunts it down the right field side. You know what you have to do as a first baseman, you got to go right away. You got to say, I got it, or you take the bag. Aaron Hill looked like he was coming in and then peeled over to first base at the last second. Ball died in no man's land for Gonzalez, and it'll go as an infield single.
Green moves to third on the play, and here's Ellsbury, who lines this to left field. It's caught by Lynn. Green tags and comes in. The Red Sox add another, and their 4-run lead is restored. They get the home run. Now a sacrifice fly to left, and get 2 on Romero. 6-2 is the score.
Just like that. A home run. Good situational hitting, as you see Sean Camp back up. And a sacrifice fly for Ellsbury to score the second run of the inning.
So here's J.D. Drew. He's 1 for 2. And he squares and drops one down. Romero fires to first to get him. And that's the second out. So a sacrifice fly is followed by a sacrifice bunt.
he was trying for a hit with a big shift on. He was trying to bunt for a base hit, but because it moves a runner into scoring position, he'll be credited with a no at bat and a sacrifice bunt.
And sits down beside Josh Beckett, who is likely grateful for the run support. 6 runs for Boston, just as the Blue Jays had inched closer to within 2. Here come the Red Sox, and they get the 2 back in the top of the 4th inning.
They're not done yet.
Not at all. Victor Martinez is back up. He's already had 3 at bats in the ball game, and we're only in the 4th inning. They have made Romero work. He's had to throw 77 pitches already. That bullpen out there and left has been busy for a couple of innings now. Two balls, no strikes on Martinez. There's a changeup away now, 3-0.
That's the pitch that has given him trouble tonight. He has not been able to command that. He has not been able to throw his curveball over consistently for strikes. And the Red Sox, who have all those great offensive numbers that we've talked about, leaders in the American League in doubles, they've shown that here tonight. There's another walk. 4th in runs, 4th in RBIs, 4th in homers. They've made him pay.
And that's it.
Yep.
End of the line for Ricky Romero. Out comes Cito Gaston. He'll go to the bullpen and call upon Sean Kemp. We'll be back as Kemp comes in to take over for the left-hander Romero. Just can't seem to solve the Boston Red Sox. He's already lost to them twice, and he's losing here by 4 and is out of the ball game in the 4th inning. And so Sean Kemp comes in.
He's tried everything, you know, looking at film, trying a different approach, but it hasn't worked. So Sean Kemp is going to have to take over the long man, who has done a good job this year in multiple innings. And they're going to need at least 3 from Kemp here tonight.
And throw out that 1-6 record. He's come into a lot of ball games, either tied or the club is trailing. The team comes back, or he works 2, perhaps 3 innings and gives up a lead. And he works against Kevin Youkilis here. Youkilis with a double and a walk so far. 6-2 Boston. Top of the 4th inning, 2 away, and 2 runners on for the Red Sox. Jack to left field, well hit, and that one is just foul.
You see how quick his hands were inside, how he's able to pull through. He's got that unique batting stance and style. Stands very close together, but he's very quick on the inner half. Ball hooking foul. He stands upright. He's got his feet together, and he's got his hand. Said he never even knew he was doing that, with his right hand sliding up the bat handle.
Seriously?
Had no idea until they showed him on one of the films that they had, and now it's incorporated, and it works. 20 home runs and 66 runs driven in, hitting over 300. He has played left field for Terry Francona this year, third base, first base.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, well off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Youkilis. Romero goes 3 1/3. Has allowed 6 runs to this point on 8 hits. He struck out 2 and walked 3. One of the 3 on base right now. Victor Martinez at first. Alex Gonzalez up at second. 2-2 is fouled off the ankle. Sean Camp's most recent loss came a week ago tonight in New York, when he hit Alex Rodriguez in the left elbow, and then watched 2 batters later as Robinson Cano singled home the winning run in the 11th inning. He's run the count 3-2 on Youkilis, and with 2 away, the runners will get a jump here. They break. Youkilis grounds up the middle. It's picked up by Scudero, and he gets it to first in time, and that is the top of the 4th. But the Red Sox chase Ricky Romero with a pair, and their lead is now evolution of LCD TV continues. Back at Rogers Center here in Toronto, I'm Jamie Campbell, joined by Pat Tabler and Sam Cosentino tonight. It's Boston 6, Toronto 2, game 1 of 3. The Red Sox make their final visit of the year to Toronto. And the Blue Jays send up Vernon Wells, Randy Ruiz, and Edwin Encarnacion.
It's important now against Josh Beckett, who seems to have a second life now. Momentum seemed to be heading over towards the Blue Jays. But 2 quick runs in the top of the inning, and now it's important against Beckett to don't try and get it all back with one swing.
A bloop, a bleeder, and a blast.
Yeah, something. You know, get on base, maybe a walk, maybe a double, or, you know, just start stringing together good at bats. Because this is where good pitchers sense that and just take it to the next level and feel it. Beckett has been throwing lots of strikes. He just has not been able to finish off hitters. He's ahead again here against Vernon Wells.
That breaking ball turns Wells away. It's 2-2. And Beckett has been so reliable for the Red Sox this year. In fact, he's tossed at least 7 innings in each of his last 6 starts.
That's called casting your curveball right there, not letting it go out in front.
There you go. Base hit to left field for Wells. Bay cuts it off quickly as Vernon steams into second. So you wanted a hit here and a hit there. You start with Wells doubling to begin the Jays half of the 4th inning.
That's a good start right there. You can't finish him off again. Martinez wants the ball away, curveball, and it ends up in the middle of the plate, just kind of spinning from Beckett. He's got a great curveball when he's got that hammer working, but right now it's just spinning.
And it brings up the Bronx Bomber himself, Randy Ruiz, who hit his 3rd home run since getting called up off Beckett in the 2nd inning. And he grounds this to 3rd. And Wells alertly runs in front of Lowell and picks up 3rd base. Little daring base running, but it pays off.
That's a veteran move. Okay. You're at second base. If you have a big right-handed hitter up, the third baseman's playing back. If he's got to go to his left, just like that, there is no chance that you are going to get that runner. So Wells realizes that. He's been around. He knows. He realizes and sees where Lowell is. You can just walk to third base and pick up 90 feet. You got to think about that play before it happens, though.
Encarnacion flies to left field. In comes Bay. They almost collide. Here comes the throw, and Wells comes in to score. A near collision out there between Ellsbury and Bay.
Well, they did collide, and it's got to be Jason Bay's ball because he's got the better and the more accurate arm than Ellsbury. He's got 10 outfield assists, and he, with the right-handed throwing, is coming towards home plate. Ellsbury is going away. You can see he's almost camped under it. Ellsbury hits him in the neck, but I still don't think with that collision that they were going to get Vernon Wells at the plate. Bay calling it all the way.
Well, they get one back. And they manufacture it as Wells doubles, alertly moves over as Ruiz grounded out, and then comes home on the sacrifice by Encarnacion. So there are 2 down. Bases are clear. And here's Rod Barajas. Ball 1. 1-1. This is hit hard and high to left field, and it is foul. And not by very much.
It's a carbon copy of the ball hit by Youkilis last inning.
Sounded good, too.
Yeah, curveball again, a spinning curveball. Barajas is a good curveball hitter. Stays back and just was out in front a little bit. Had the distance, but not the accuracy.
He's been in a bit of a slide, too. Barajas is 0 for his last 8. Finished up the road trip through New York and Tampa Bay at 2 for 12. Here it's 2-2 as Beckett kicks and fires. And a soft ground ball to the second baseman, Nick Green. And he gets Barajas for out number 3. But the Blue Jays add 1 here in the 4th. And after 4, it's the Red Sox 6. And the Blue Jays present the all-you-can-eat section. Tickets begin at $36. For more information, check out bluejays.com/special events or call 416-341-1188 and find out what's available in terms of the food items that you can, pig out on, essentially.
All weekend long.
All weekend long. Here's Jason Bay. Skyward to center field, and this one is long out of here. A center field shot. Jason Bay. It's another home run. What a year for the pride of Trail, British Columbia. That's number 26.
Yeah, 26 home runs, and now not a doubt. First pitch swinging, he goes down and digs it out and hammers it to right field. It actually hit the windows in right center field. Bounces back on the playing field.
(7-3) Boston. Manny who? My goodness. That 3-team trade that sent Manny on his way to the Los Angeles Dodgers brought Bay to Boston. At the time, a lot of people in Boston were thinking, oh my goodness, what are we going to do without Manny Ramirez? Bay's been a bit of a godsend.
Just fine. Just fine. Plays better defense. Got a better throwing arm. Runs the bases a lot better. And he's not a distraction.
No. Not even close.
Manny Ramirez was becoming such a distraction.
Enough that Jonathan Papelbon, the closer, in a March edition of the magazine Esquire, really took a shot at Manny Ramirez, saying it just takes one guy to bring down an entire team. As Lowell pops this one up, Scudero can see it, and he camps under the ball for the out. He said, and I quote, "For him to not be on the same page as the rest of us was an absolute killer." And he was talking about Manny Ramirez. And then when asked about the acquisition of Jason Bay, said Jason Bay was our cure.
I know the veterans got together and they said, what are we going to do? And they pulled one off, the Boston Red Sox, getting someone like Bay. Fits in perfectly with this team.
David Ortiz 2 for 2, 3 RBIs, a 2-run double. and the solo home run in the 4th inning. One ball, one strike as he faces relief pitcher Sean Kemp. Kemp took over for Ricky Romero with 2 out in the 4th inning. The 1-1 pitch is hit high, but stays in the park for Vernon Wells. And that's the 2nd out.
That's the pitch that Sean Kemp says has really helped him this year against left-handed batters. The good changeup where you can get big home run hitters out on their front foot. That's what he did here. Watch him pull the string, and Ortiz is out on his front foot and hits it off the end of the bat. Lefty's hitting just .225 against Kemp this year. He's got that good spinning slider, good movement on his fastball. He has now added a good changeup, and that's helped.
Brad Arnsberg loves Kemp. He's not the kind of guy who jumps out with, Brandon League type stuff. Not a headliner by any stretch. He's not a closer. He's not a setup man. He's just one of those reliable arms that you can darn well use every day if you need to, but you don't, because Kemp often pitches 1+ innings, 2, sometimes 3.
Multiple inning guy. A long guy. You're right. He doesn't jump out. You don't say, wow, this fastball is outstanding, or breaking ball. He just goes out there and gets guys out.
Trying to get Nick Green out here, and this will help. A ground ball to Scudero. So there's the 3rd out, and the Red Sox are gone, but they get a monster home run from Jason Bay. And with that, Boston's on top 7-3. You're watching Blue Jays baseball. Giveaway when the Angels provide the opposition for the Blue Jays. An afternoon game here at the ballpark. The first 5,000 kids under the age of 15 receive a Blue Jays backpack. More information can be found at BlueJays.com. Here is one of the kids just up from AAA as of today, Travis Snyder. The Blue Jays made room on the roster for him by optioning Joe Inglet down to AAA. You might see Inglet come back up when the rosters expand in September.
When young hitters come up, pitchers are going to challenge them. They're going to say, okay, let me see if you can hit my fastball. Travis Snyder showed that he could hit Josh Beckett's fastballs first time up.
And he lines this one to left field, a base hit, so Snyder's 2 for 2 on his return. Both hits to the opposite field as we bring in Sam Cosentino.
Well, guys, in assessing Travis Snyder, Cito Gaston said one thing he wanted to see him do was get started earlier, which has been a problem with a lot of the Blue Jays hitters throughout the course of this season. The other thing, and you guys touched on it here in his first 2 at-bats, is being better at hitting the fastball. Obviously, in his first at-bat, it seems like he's made an adjustment there.
Apparently. That was quite a shot to left field in the 3rd. He follows up with a single to left as well, 2 for 2, and gets on base for Marco Scutaro. He swings at the first offering. Now, mechanically, I talked with Travis before the game about the things that they wanted him to work on, and he said that Gene Tennis has worked on him with getting his hands and not his body to the ball quickly. Can you expand on that?
It's pretty self-explanatory that a lot of times hitters will use their upper body too much and they'll use their arms. I think that's the difference as that ball is skied by Scutaro right at home plate. Youkilis is going to call him off. Minor league hitters, if this makes any sense, are more arm hitters. Major league hitters are more hand hitters. Arm hitters, they kind of like swing their arms at the ball and they don't generate any bat speed or any quickness. And they're fooled a lot on breaking balls, or the fastball can get thrown by them. Good major league hitters use their hands a lot better. Helps you to wait on the fastball, wait on the breaking ball, lets the ball get a little bit deeper, and you're quicker and you generate more power with your hands. Does that make sense?
Perfect explanation.
And that is what they were trying to get Travis Snider to do.
That almost gets away from Martinez. There were times just prior to his demotion when, in fact, I recall a broadcast, we showed a slow motion replay of Snider, and he was almost delaying his swing. He'd commit and then not commit.
Wasn't sure.
He wasn't sure.
Right.
You could see it in his swing. As this line shot heads for left field, and Bay watches it sail right over his head. Snider hustling for third. He's held there by Nick Leyva. A sharply hit double to left for Aaron Hill, his second of the ball game. And here come the Blue Jays again.
That is a perfect example of using your hands. Watch how quick he gets to the ball. Rising, and now that's all hand. And he's quick, and the ball takes off. Watch the backspin that he creates on that ball, and that's where he gets the lift in the movement. Bangs it over Bay's head. Snider has to pull up at third base, being down by 4 runs. Another double for Aaron Hill, his second of the game. And a chance for another good hitter to pick up a couple of more ducks on the pond.
Certainly the right man to have up in this kind of a situation, as here is Adam Lynn. And he goes after the first pitch, drives it to right field. Snider comes in to score. Here's Hill hustling around. The throw cut off, and Lynn has singled in a pair. So the Blue Jays answer with 2. It's now 7-5 Boston.
RBI is 75 and 76 for Adam Lynn. Just a good hitter. Watch how quick he gets to this ball. Another breaking ball just spinning over the middle of the plate, and he rips it in the right field. Doesn't try and do too much. Just put a good swing on the ball, and you've got 2 RBIs. This is Gary Tuck, the bullpen coach, coming out. John Farrell is not here. He's had a family problem. He has gone back to Cleveland. He is missing the game, so acting as the pitching coach tonight will be Gary Tuck, and he's out there to talk to tonight's starter, Josh Beckett.
Manny Del Carmen on the right. Starts to throw in the Boston Red Sox pen. The Jays with 5 runs against Beckett on 8 hits. The latest from Lynn, whose single drives in 2. And just when you thought this game was going to get out of hand and the Red Sox would run away, back come the Blue Jays. And now here's Lyle Overbay fouling back the first one. Overbay has struck out twice, both times looking. In fact, this is the only man, Beckett, who is a strikeout pitcher, has been able to strike out tonight.
Both of them looking, like you said, with fastballs on the inner half. He's got that first base side open, that hole on the right side. Let's see if he can get one out there and rip it by Youkilis.
Look at Martinez setting up inside, and that's exactly where the pitch ends up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
A lot of offense tonight. We were talking at the top of the broadcast with a good pitcher in Beckett and a good pitcher in Romero that this was going to be a tight battle. Especially two teams that are in the top 5 in the American League for fewest runs scored in the month of August.
And yet here we are. Romero's already gone, and it's the bottom of the 5th, and the Red Sox bullpen is active.
12 runs have scored already.
Martinez wants to make this very clear. And that ball runs away from Overbay. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Three shakes. And now he sets. Here comes the 2-2. And it's fouled down the right field line.
He was ready for him that time, Lyle Overbay. That was the pitch that got him his last time up. Heater on the hands. And he fought it off.
That's low. Now 3-2. And Overbay's been in this position before. He struck out on a 3-2 fastball that certainly looked off the plate in the first inning. As he checks Lind at first.
Thinking that the Blue Jays might start the runner to stay out of the double play. Problem with that, though, is you don't want to strike him out, throw him out. So anything close, go ahead and let it go.
Got him. Oh my, he just blew that right past Overbay, who has now struck out 3 times.
Rising fastball on the outer half. Not much you can do with that ball, even if you do hit it. Got to stay on top of it. Beckett gets Overbay for the 3rd time.
With 2 out now, Vernon Wells is back. And he is 1 for 2 after doubling into the left field corner in the 4th inning. Ball 1. Wells has seen terrific success in his career against Beckett, hitting well over 300 against him with 5 home runs. He misses badly there. 1 ball, 1 strike. This has been a forgettable year for Wells, hitting around 250, 12 home runs. He's been hearing it from the locals too. There's strike 2.
He's going to throw him a breaking ball, throw it off the plate.
Wow.
Like that.
Wells chases it and leaves Lind on base. The Jays, though, are able to score a pair. They're making it interesting. 7-5 Boston. Josh Beckett on the bench, looking perhaps a little dismayed. Victor Martinez without a word, offering some comfort to him, as here is Gonzalez grounding out to the third baseman. Encarnacion quickly one out for Sean Kemp as we begin the sixth inning here in Toronto. So glad of you, or we're glad that you've joined us. I'm Jamie Campbell tonight with Pat Tabler and Sam Cosentino, and we watched Cito Gaston come back out there. He's going to call upon his lefty, Jesse Carlson, who will come out of the pen and deal with a couple of left-handers in Ellsbury and Drew. So the change is made and will return with the Red Sox up 7-5. Statistical information provided by StatsInc. Left-handed relief provided by Jesse Carlson, and he earned himself a little bit of confidence on Sunday in Tampa Bay with a 1-2-3 7th inning. So after a day off, he's back at it here against the Boston Red Sox.
He'll face a couple of lefties, Ellsbury and Drew. Another good job by Sean Kemp. Just gave up the home run one time through the lineup. It looks like Cito Gaston's going to mix and match his way through the rest of this game. Casey Jansen is up and throwing.
Here's a base hit into center field for Ellsbury, and it comes with one out in the sixth inning. And Cito can afford to mix and match because he's got his ace on the mound tomorrow night.
That's where I was going. I was heading in that direction because Halliday's going, and chances are you're not going to need a lot of depth in case something bad happens in the game. Chances are he'll go deep and you won't need a ton of reliever.
J.D. Drew now. He fouls this one back.
Be careful with the speed at first base in Ellsbury. Second in the American League in stolen bases. Having trouble right now gauging what Jesse Carlson's going to do. Does not have a very big lead. He's just freezing, and when Carlson picks up that front foot, he is freezing Ellsbury.
In fact, Ellsbury is one stolen base away from tying a long-standing Red Sox record. As he draws a throw from Carlson, the most stolen bases in a single season by any member of the Boston Red Sox was Tommy Harper's 54 back in 1973, and right now Ellsbury's at 53. So he's one away from tying that mark. Drew's up there striking out as Carlson gets the K. That's out number 2. And it presents a switch hitter, Victor Martinez.
If you're going to steal a base, it's going to be hard against Jesse Carlson. He's quick to the plate. He doesn't have that high leg kick. He just kind of like gets set and just goes. He might have to get one of those walking leads over there at first base and just go on first movement from Carlson and guess along with him if he goes home or if he tries to throw to first.
This is the top of the order for the Red Sox. Already batting for the 4th time tonight. Top of the 6th, 2 out. Boston by 2. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Martinez. And before it gets a little too late, we'd like to send out a couple of birthday wishes to some teenagers. A belated 17th to Michael Marsh, who's watching up in one of my favorite cities, Timmins, Ontario. And a happy 13th to Dante Ricciardi, the general manager's son. He's a teenager today, and he's enjoying the ball game here as the ball is hit to right field. There is Snyder. There is the out. That's number 3. And we played 5.5 here at Rogers Center. Boston 7, the Blue Jays 5. You're watching Blue Jays baseball on Rogers Sportsnet. One lucky contestant will win a 40-inch Sharp Aquos LCD TV with LED backlight. The innovators of LCD TV now bring you their best picture yet. Aquos LED, the evolution of LCD TV, continues. To enter and find out more, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca.
You got a good chance.
Great
Here's
chance.
The 6th inning.
Look
with
who's
Ruiz. And if anybody gets on, Travis Snyder will hit. That's a long one. That's back in the 2nd inning as he takes Beckett deep to right center field.
Boy, and there's a home run swing right there. 1-1. It's Ruiz against Beckett. What a story this gentleman is. 9 years in the minor leagues, 9 different organizations. Finally got called up to the big leagues last year at about this time by the Minnesota Twins. Went down to AAA Las Vegas this year. Tore the cover off the ball. And got called up in time to play a series about 5 blocks from where he was born at Yankee Stadium last week.
He didn't just hit for power. He hit for average. He hit with runners in scoring position. He drove in runs. Had a huge year. I don't think he's going back this year.
What a good guy then to have at your DH spot, because he's not one of those heavy hitters who's a good bet to strike out, like say Jack Cust, to use an example. He's not going to homer every time up, but he'll get his doubles and his singles, and he'll drive in the odd run that way.
Love those type of hitters. You know, man on second base, maybe you can make the adjustment and do something to get the ball to the outfield. It's a good eye right there, 2-2. I don't like those hitters that strike out all the time, because those are just rally killers. You know, the odd home run here and there. They might hit you 30 bombs, but they could be 30 solo home runs, you know, because they're being pitched to. Good start here in the 6th inning as Ruiz works a walk after falling behind. Francona does not want to see this lineup turn over. Meaning he wants to get the bottom of the lineup here, try and get his starter through 6 innings, and then he only has to manage 3 innings with his bullpen. If they turn the lineup over, that could be trouble, because there's some good hitters at the top of the lineup.
Well, here's Encarnacion, who has hit under 200 since coming over from Cincinnati, with 1 home run. That was last week off Mariano Rivera at Yankee Stadium. Got a sacrifice fly in this game to drive in a run. 7-5 Boston. Ruiz at first. 1 ball and 1 strike on the third baseman. We've talked about the Blue Jays' troubles away from home. They're 11 games under 500 on the road. Look at what Boston's done while traveling in the last 17.
And a number that jumps out is the earned run average. This is a good pitching staff that has had some injuries to it. And the guys that they thought they could count on, the John Smoltz, who was just released, didn't work out. Daisuke Matsusaka has been hurt, it seems like, all season long. So it has to be Beckett, Josh Beckett, the ace of the staff, showing the way.
Tim Wakefield, who went to the All-Star game.
Yep.
But he's not available right now. As Beckett now on 2-2. Sees this one hit to center field. Ellsbury is there, and Encarnacion is gone. 1 away. As one member of the Red Sox organization put it to me today, it's basically Beckett and Lester, and then hope for the best with everybody else.
That's why I'm surprised they didn't pull the trigger on trying to pick up a Cliff Lee. I know they went out and signed Paul Bird, veteran who's been through the wars. He's down in the minor leagues trying to work his way back.
That ball gets away from Martinez. Ruiz heads for second, and he gets there safely. A wild pitch charge to Beckett, and up to second goes Ruiz.
Jamie, that is Josh Beckett's first wild pitch of the season, right there. I mean, that's how good his control has been all season long. Cuts off a fastball, no chance for Martinez to backhand it cleanly. If he does, maybe he gets Ruiz. Watch him go to the backhand side, hits it up in the air, but then finds it quickly and gets rid of it quickly, but no chance.
Well, Ruiz now moves into scoring position for Rod Barajas
and takes the double play out.
And this ball is jacked to center field. Ellsbury back at the wall. He's run out of room. A home run, Rod Barajas, and we're all tied at 7. File that one in the category of no doubt about it.
6th inning home run. Said you had a good chance. This is home run number 3 tonight by the Blue Jays, and another no doubt about it. Fastball out over the plate, and Barajas with good power just powers it over Ellsbury's head into the camera well, dead center field. We are all tied, and Josh Beckett is finished. His troubles continue here at Rogers Center, thanks to Rob Barajas.
.40-inch Sharp Aquos LCD TV with LED backlight. Aquos LED, the evolution of LCD TV continues. To see if you have won or to enter, please visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. And you can thank that man, Barajas, with the game-tying shot here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it chases Josh Beckett
and inflates his numbers. 5 1/3 innings, so his streak of pitching into the 7th inning in his last 10 starts is broken. 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 walk, and that one came around to score right before that home run by Barajas. He will give way to Manny Del Carmen. Comes into the ball game, 50th time that we have seen him this year. Fastball, breaking ball, good changeup. That's why left-handers are hitting just $181 against him. Del Carmen throws hard, and he's got a very good changeup.
Travis Snyder takes ball 1. Snyder has a home run. In fact, upon his recall, he has gotten involved quickly and made an impact. A solo shot in the 3rd. He singled and scored in the 5th. Here comes the 1-0 from Del Carmen, and that misses for ball 2. Beckett's gone after 5 1/3. He only walked 1 hitter, but that one man, Ruiz, got on base and came around to score when Barajas went deep to center. Now Del Carmen, a hard-throwing right-hander from the Boston area, gets the foul tip, and here's what Snyder did, 3rd inning, first at bat upon his return from AAA.
Shows you the type of power he has going the opposite way into the bullpen in left field. That certainly has to make you feel good where you contribute right when you come back. Throw in a single his last time up.
Martinez settles inside, and they jam Snyder. But the ball gets out of play. So Snyder, who checks the handle on his bat, stays alive, 2-2. This crowd of 25,000 plus has come to life after the home run by Barajas. After a rocky start by Ricky Romero, who lasted just 3 1/3, it looked like the Red Sox at one point might run away with this game, but the Blue Jays have hung around. They have scored in each of their last 5 innings. And now Snyder works the count full. They scored a run in the 2nd inning, a run in the 3rd, added 1 more in the 4th, 2 runs in the 5th, 2 more here in the 6th. Del Carmen to try and keep it at 2. As he fires the 3-2, and he gets a swing and a miss from Snyder. He's gone without number 2. And so that brings us to our next Rogers Fast Fact, brought to you by Canada's fastest mobile network, 3 times faster than any other. And Marco Scutaro has reached base 208 times this year, tied for second in the American League.
He is also tied for 4th in the American League in runs, 7th with 33 doubles, 68 base on balls, so his numbers are great all the way around.
And like Barajas, who just went deep, Scutaro is set to become a free agent at the end of the year. 1 strike on him. Here's Del Carmen with the breaking ball, and that's a dandy. Now 0-2. Strike 3. I love Tim McClellan. He always makes it dramatic. Scutaro is gone. That's the end of the 6th. But Rod Barajas does this against Josh.
Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
This has been quite a ball game at Rogers Center tonight in downtown Toronto. I'm Jamie Campbell with Pat Tabler and Sam Cosentino, tied at 7 as we hit the 7th. And the new man on the hill is Casey Janssen.
Toronto's 4th pitcher tonight, 3rd reliever. Janssen takes over. He was just recalled a few days ago from Las Vegas when Jeremy Accardo was sent down. Pitched in that game on the 15th down in Tampa when you were there. That was his first relief appearance since 2007. And this is probably where he belongs. Pitching out of the bullpen one time through as he builds that arm strength.
2007 was a terrific year for Janssen. Entirely out of the bullpen. He pitched in 70 games that year to a 2.35 ERA as he faces Kevin Youkilis, who grounds to short, backhanded by Scutaro. And he gets him just in time. 1 away in the 7th inning.
Pretty play right there. What made that play was the good footwork by Scutaro. Watch him go to his right and round into the ball, and quickly with quick feet set that right foot to make sure he gets something on it. Right there, little crow hop and a good strong throw to get Youkilis at first.
That brings up Jason Bay, who is 1 for 2 with his 26th home run.
What an August it has been for Jason Bay. He has played in 11 games now, and he's hit 6 home runs. So be careful with this guy. Sharp contrast from what he did in the month of July. He was cold.
And 17 of his 26 home runs have come with men on base. That was a rare solo shot he hit back there in the 5th.
That'll help get those RBI totals up. Now sitting at 84.
2 strikes on Bay. And he waves at that pitch. Well off the plate. Jansen will take it. He's got a strikeout. And 2 gone here in the 7th inning.
Something you don't see from Red Sox hitters. I think this is just Jason Bay not familiar with Casey Jansen. Good breaking ball right over the top, curveball, and he just waves at it.
And nor would he be familiar, because Jansen's been on the disabled list all of last year. Bay was spending the first several years of his career in Pittsburgh. Mike Lowell, on the other hand, would be accustomed to facing Jansen.
Yeah, maybe they ran into each other sometime in spring training when Bay was with Pittsburgh.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, and now 2 strikes. Jansen's entire year last season was shelved after he underwent surgery on a torn right labrum on the 18th of March. I recall a crestfallen Jansen around his locker in spring training. Well, he is back, and he's trying to get Lowell to fish at an 0-2 pitch outside. They tried him in a starter's role early on this year. Maybe he's more suited to this kind of a position. Relieving in tight games in late innings. And he shows why there. He's got that breaking ball dancing. And he's got Lowell striking out. A 1-2-3-7 gets the Blue Jays back at the plate quickly. You're watching Blue Jays baseball on Rogers Sportsnet. Well, let's review this game, shall we? It started well for the Boston Red Sox. They chased Ricky Romero early, but the Blue Jays have hung around. And as we head for the bottom of the 7th, we are tied at 7.
They've scored in every inning but the first inning. Crooked numbers in the 2nd through the 6th inning, and they have finally caught the Boston Red Sox. Home runs by Ruiz, Snyder, and Barajas. The last one by Barajas, a 2-run homer that tied it, and now the 3rd pitcher for the Boston Red Sox takes over. The only lefty in the bullpen for Terry Francona. 3-0, 288 earned run average. Hideki Okajima takes over with a couple of lefties looming after Aaron Hill.
And Okajima has been solid since the beginning of May. In 43 games, he owns a 2.13 ERA as he faces Aaron Hill to begin the Jays half of the 7th inning. This has been a fun one to watch, and we certainly hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. I'm Jamie Campbell tonight with Pat Tabler and Sam Cosentino. Our Sportsnet.ca columnist Scott Carson is up here in the booth, keeping track of the stats as Hill goes after that one 0-2. Okajima with a unique style of delivering the baseball.
It's got to be hard to pick up the ball from. Fastball, breaking ball, splitter. Comes to a set and comes right over the top. Hides the ball really well and kind of short arms it. Tied for first in the American League with 22 holds, so he's doing his job. Watch how he tucks and goes and looks straight down. You can't look at the arms and the legs, the head, any of that. You just got to try and find the ball.
This one over the glove of the pitcher, taken by Gonzalez. He's got that quick throw to first, and he gets Hill.
When you have a good breaking ball like Okajima has, you're going to be tough on left-handed. Lefties have hit 161 against him. He's only given up one home run to a left-handed batter this year. So here come Cito Gaston's lefties. Lind and Overbay.
Lind with a double and a single. That single coming in the fifth. Scored 2 and drew the Blue Jays to within 2 at 7-5. They came back to tie it on Rod Barajas' 11th home run of the year. Lind hits .282 against left-handers. 6 of his 24 home runs against left-handed pitching. Okajima sets at the belt. And on the 1-1. Gets it fouled back. It hits not only Martinez but McClellan.
Lefties don't bother Lynn, Jamie, because he has such a good approach. Ball ricochets off the mask of Martinez and on the forearm of home plate umpire Tim McClellan.
Grounded to the third baseman Lowell. He picks it up, goes across the diamond, and gets Lynn for the second out.
If you have a good approach at the plate, it doesn't matter if you're facing a lefty or a righty. Your mechanics, your fundamentals, everything are the same. Lynn's is the exact same. He hit that ball hard, but right at Mike Lowell for the second out.
I bet you Lyle Overbay is happy to see the end of Josh Beckett.
Yeah. Everybody's getting hits except Lyle, so you're due. 3 strikeouts tonight.
And he grounds this to Lowell. He's got time, and there's the third out. So Okajima gets a 1-2-3-7, still tied at 7 here in Toronto. contestant is taking home a 52-inch Sharp Aquis LCD TV with LED backlight and Blu-ray disc player. Aquis LED, the evolution of LCD TV, continues. To see if you've won, please go to hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Here's Barajas catching Casey Janssen, his second inning of work in relief against the Boston Red Sox. And it is the bottom of the order. Odd to be saying that considering who's up there. That's David Ortiz, but he is batting 7th tonight. Nick Green is on deck. Alex Gonzalez in the hole for the Red Sox, and we're tied at 7. The defense is now in their customary position with Ortiz up, and the count is 2-0.
And generally it's pitch him in, play him in type of thing. But I would keep the ball away from Ortiz, even though you're playing him to pull and you have 3 infielders on the right side of the infield and Encarnacion, the third baseman, right about straightaway shortstop. I would still pitch him away. You don't want him to lift and try and get a ball in the air. He's already homered tonight.
He walks on 4 pitches, as it turns out. And he trots down to first. The defense behind Jansen shifts back to normal position. And now Nick Green comes up.
And now you're saying, okay, why isn't there a pinch runner for David Ortiz? It's the 8th inning. It's tied. You want to get some speed, but Terry Francona is working with a short bench tonight.
A bench of 2, in fact. He's got Casey Kochman and outfielder Brian Anderson, and that's it. Because Jason Varitek is unavailable as Green shows bunt.
He was a scratch from the lineup. He might be able to play in emergency, but battling a problem in his neck.
It says that he's on the list of reserve players, but based on what we were told, he can hardly walk. And Dustin Pedroia is back in Boston after his wife gave birth to a baby boy. And as Sam Cosentino told us, Pedroia, the reigning MVP in the American League, might not even be here until the 3rd game of the series.
So if you're the infielder here and Green squares and bunts, don't just assume you're going to get the play at first. You can get that lead runner.
Now this ball is popped up and it catches a wind and drifts further back into the seats and out of play. And that walk to Ortiz won't look so bad if perhaps Jansen can get a ground ball out of Green here.
He is taking a long look at DeMarlo Hale, the third base coach. Red Sox like to change up. They like to show bunt, then take it off and swing away, and then go back to the bunt, swinging away.
And taking for ball 2. Two and 2. Green has kicked around with several teams in the major leagues, starting with the Atlanta Braves. Moved on to Tampa Bay for a while. Ended up playing with the Yankees for a time. And due to the injury to Jed Lowry, finds himself with regular playing time here. He fouls that back. When the Red Sox went out and acquired Alex Gonzalez, they ended up designating for assignment Chris Woodward, who was playing for Seattle just about, 3 weeks ago when we were out there doing a Mariners series. And the next thing you know, he's let go by the Mariners, got picked up by Boston, got some at-bats with the Red Sox, and now he's in Pawtucket AAA.
You see him on television scoring runs for the Red Sox, and you go, okay, we get to see Woody in another week. But like Josh Towers in New York, we thought we would see him when we went to New York. Gone, sent down the day before. We'll see him in September.
And if not with Boston, then with somebody else. Here comes the 2-2, and Green fights it off. Be sure to join us again for tomorrow night's game as Roy Halladay hits the hill for the Blue Jays. He'll take his 13-5 record up against Clay Buchholz. So he'll have a chance to match Josh Beckett at 14 victories. Beckett can't win tonight. He can't lose it either. This is quite a battle. Green against Jansen. Ortiz with a short lead at first. Nobody out, top of the 8th. Base hit to left field. And that moves Ortiz up.
Just barely. Just got to second base now on that sharp single by Green. Casey Jansen went to the well one too many times with breaking balls. Threw about 3 or 4 in a row. And this time the timing was right for Green as he rips it in the left field. Watch David Ortiz has no thoughts of going first to third on that single to left field. And they can't pinch run for him.
So here comes Gonzalez again, the number 9 hitter.
He's already had one sacrifice bunt attempt that turned into an infield single, so the corners are in. This is going to be interesting to see.
He squares, and it handcuffs Jansen. He gets it wide of the bag at first. Hill was covering, and now Ortiz comes in to score the go-ahead run. Oh, my.
I didn't think Boston would bunt simply because David Ortiz was the runner at second base. He was the lead runner. Anything on the ground, we were bunting right into an out. But he backs the ball up. Casey Jansen was a third baseman in college, so he's a great fielder with a great arm. And he messes up both of them. Backspin on the ball by Gonzalez, handcuffs Jansen, and then he compounds the problem by throwing the ball down the right field line.
And that brings Cito Gaston out. He'll go to the bullpen and call upon Brian Talent, as it does not bounce Jansen's way here. The Red Sox in the 8th inning are back on top, and the bullpen is And then when that chance failed, he threw it away at first, allowing that lead runner, David Ortiz, to come in with the go-ahead run. It's now 8-7 Boston.
Casey Jansen is a good athlete. Had plenty of time, but things didn't work out, and now it's up to Brian Talent to clean it up. 27 games now. He's been put back into the bullpen. He has made starts for the Blue Jays this year. So he will come in to face the left-handers. First Jacoby Ellsbury and then J.D. Drew. Runners on second and third. Still nobody out. The infield has to come in now They cannot afford to give up any more runs.
Ball one from Talent, who started Saturday in Tampa Bay. Went 5 2/3 and suffered the loss. He faces Jacoby Ellsbury, a leadoff batter with great speed. The Red Sox have 2 on, both in scoring position, nobody out. And this is a high fly ball hit to right field. And so Green tags and comes in to score. The Red Sox tack on another one. It's now 9-7.
And they move another runner up to third base now with less than 2 outs with that long fly ball. Sacrifice fly, no at bat for Ellsbury. At RBI, Gonzalez alertly tags up from second base and gets to third base, so the infield has to stay in. And this is that interesting defensive alignment now with a runner on third base and J.D. Drew, who really hooks the ball. 3 infielders on the right side. We saw this earlier tonight. Big hole up the middle.
Ball one.
You know who this helps is the runner at third base. He can get way off that line because Encarnacion, who is now starting to walk back towards third, is way off of it. You can get as far as the third baseman. So a short, wild pitch, you can score. You can get closer to home if you want to use the contact play. I don't think they would right here. I think they would make the ball go through because you have a good RBI guy on deck. But you can get out there as far as the third baseman.
Two and one on the batter, Drew. Gonzalez, the base runner at third. 1 down, 2 in. Here's the pitch. And it's now 2-2. The Red Sox walked and singled to lead off the inning, and then Alex Gonzalez dropped down a bunt. Jansen, perhaps thinking about getting the lead man at third, was handcuffed by the bouncing ball, threw wide of first, and the 2-base error brought in a run. As that one is fouled off Drew, and he limps away from the batter's box. Just when the Blue Jays had mounted a comeback here against Boston, the Red Sox get a couple more.
They've been playing catch up all night, so it seems. That is a big run at third base. We talked about that at the top of the show, about how close the Jays games were on the road trip that they just finished up.
Wow, Drew goes after that pitch. Looked about 6 feet high, and he swings and misses, striking out.
Still feeling the remnants of maybe that ball off of the shin. Rising way up.
Well, Brian Talent will take it. That's the second out.
Jays played 6 games in Tampa and New York, and 5 of them were decided by 3 runs or less. So that's a big run to save at third base there. But he has to go through Victor Martinez.
And especially considering in the bottom of the 8th inning, they've got the bottom of the order coming up. And they already have home runs this night from Ruiz, the 6-hitter, Barajas, the 8-hitter, and Snyder, the 9-hitter. But the Red Sox have a man in the bullpen who can throw about 100 miles an hour in Daniel Bard. Victor Martinez drills it foul. No balls and 2 strikes.
When Brian Talent is pitching well, his changeup is dynamite. And right-handers have had all kind of problems this year against it. See if he goes to it here. 0-2.
Grounded down the line, a fair ball, and that brings home Gonzalez. As Martinez heads for second, the throw is late, and another run scores for the Red Sox. Their lead in the 8th inning now 3. That's exactly why they picked him up from Cleveland.
To come up with big 2-out hits. He's had the most RBIs of any catcher since 2004, and this is why. 0-2, breaking ball ripped right down the line past Encarnacion to pick up a big 2-out, 2-strike run for the Red Sox.
Gonzalez comes in to score, but again, it goes back to the error by Jansen. Gonzalez isn't even on base if Jansen makes that play to first.
You can close the books now on Casey. 3 runs given up.
One and 0 on Kevin Youkilis. Yeah, there's a strike, 1-1. The Blue Jays for most of this season have been the best fielding team in the American League. As this ball is hit in the air and foul, but the error charged to Jansen here in the 8th, obviously costly. You go back to the missed catch by Travis Snyder in right field in the 4th inning. That led to a Boston run as Nick Green got on second and came home on a sacrifice fly 2 batters later. It all adds up.
Yeah, they came into this game with 49 errors, which led the American League. The pitch there. Two errors tonight, leading to 2 unearned runs. Cutter. Barajas doesn't have to move the glove, and Talent comes off the mound like it's strike 3.
So the 2-2 is grounded foul. This Boston team just comes off a road trip. They were down in Texas and lost 2 of 3 to the Rangers, and lost their standing in the wild card chase. They're now a game behind Texas, and currently out of the postseason at this moment. And this from a team that in late June had a 5-game lead on the division.
At the All-Star break, had the 2nd best record in the major leagues. Things have not clicked for him since the All-Star game.
There's a swing and a miss, but Barajas can't close the glove, so Youkilis stays alive.
This is what makes Youkilis so tough. Fouling off tough pitches, just trying to keep the at bat alive. Talent has thrown him some pretty good pitches.
Here comes the latest from big Brian Talent, and it's way up there for ball 3. Typical Kevin Youkilis, working the count, gets himself a full count here in the 8th inning. Not surprisingly, his on base percentage is .425, second best in the American League. Runner at second, and the ball grounded to third. Encarnacion across the diamond, and he gets Youkilis for the 3rd out. The Red Sox take advantage of Jansen's error and score 3 times in the 8th inning. The old disclaimer. Into the bottom of the 8th inning. And here is Daniel Bard, who is 24 years of age, stands 6'4", weighs 200 pounds. First round pick in 2006, and he can chuck it.
Yeah, when you watch him throw the ball, you can see why he was a #1 pick. 45 strikeouts in 35 innings. He is now the 8th inning guy in certain situations for Terry Francona, averaging 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. Hard fastball, good breaking ball from Bard. And the first man he will face here in the bottom of the 8th inning is Vernon Wells, protecting a 3-run lead.
And you wonder why the Red Sox bullpen has the best ERA in the American League. They employ big, tall flamethrowers like Bard. And in close games, he's followed up in the 9th inning by Jonathan Papelbon.
It's called easy cheese.
Easy cheese.
Easy cheese. You see a lot of the Boston Red Sox pitchers with that nice, easy, slow motion, and the ball just, boom, pops out of their hand. That fastball, the first one that Bard threw, was 96 miles an hour.
This one fought off by Wells, but he pops it over near first. Youkilis makes the grab. Wells is gone. Well, tomorrow night, Game 2 has Roy Halladay on the hill for the Blue Jays. And he'll be going up against Clay Buchholz. Buchholz 1-3 on the year. Halladay 13-5. And in fact, the Blue Jays have not won since Doc's 13th victory. That was Friday in Tampa Bay, as Randy Ruiz muscles one foul. He needs a new bat.
On top of throwing hard, Bard's got good movement on his fastball. He can get inside on right-handed batters. Good numbers. He's given up runs in 3 of his last 5 outings, but his ERA is still 2.5 over his last 17 games.
Pitching-wise, the future clearly looks bright for Boston with kids like Bard in the bullpen, Buchholz in the rotation, John Lester in the rotation.
Says something about your scouting department. Boston is always drafting in the bottom third of the draft, but still are able to find good players and sign them and develop them, or use them to make good trades. Victor Martinez, they gave up some good breaking ball there. They gave up some top drawer prospects to get Victor Martinez. But they're not letting go of Bard because he can do this breaking ball. Looks like it's going to be a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and whoo, sweeps off the plate for a strikeout.
Here's Encarnacion with 2 out. Driving this one over the head of Nick Green, a base hit right field. So he'll give a chance here to Rod Barajas, who homered in the 6th inning to tie the game at 7. And he put a charge in this building with his 6th inning home run. The Blue Jays had fallen behind the Red Sox at that point by 2. But Barajas hit one to dead central, his 11th of the year. And in the process, he chased Josh Beckett. And Bard runs it inside.
Rob Barajas can hit a fastball, but they're going to try and crowd him now,
or get hit by a fastball. That
was
easy cheese you talk about at 97, that can't be fun having that run inside on you.
Right around your elbows, forearm area. They're going to want to try and stay inside. They wanted it inside, and you can see Beckett's fastball moves out over the plate. And when Barajas can extend those arms, he can hit it as far as anybody.
2-0, 1 man on. Toronto down by 3. Base hit center field. Well, here comes Travis Snider, and you talk about a dramatic moment. Recalled from AAA. He's homered, singled, scored twice, and Jonathan Papelbon is up and throwing in the bullpen.
And he's going to go to him.
And he's called for him. They want Snider to learn how to hit a major league fastball. This guy can throw them. So we've got ourselves quite a matchup when we come back on Rogers Sportsnet. All year long, 28 saves so far this year and 31 opportunities. Called upon here in the 8th inning with 2 out, 1 on, 2 on. In fact, and Travis Snider coming up.
He hasn't had a whole lot of 4-out save chances. They like to keep him right at 1 inning. And that's why since 2006, it's Jonathan Papelbon who's tied with Joe Nathan for the most saves in the American League. 141 saves now for Papelbon. This year he is 4th in the AL, converting 28 of 31 chances. Hard fastball, hard splitter. So if you want power versus power, you've come to the right place. Power pitcher in Papelbon and a power hitter in Travis Snider.
Not your average number 9 hitter, but here is Snider coming into the ball game on the day he is recalled from AAA. He's already homered once, and he's got a chance here to tie this ball game with 1 swat. You figure he's sitting dead red on the first pitch?
Looking for a first pitch fastball.
So here we go. Ball 1. It doesn't feel like Papelbon's been around very long, but already he has the Boston Red Sox franchise record, 141 career saves. The 1-0. And that's a strike. He just, in fact, passed Bob Stanley on July the 1st for the most in club history. Here's a young man who's worked out his problems in AAA and will be with this club the rest of the way. He's got 2 on and 2 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-1.
He's starting to loosen up now. 93 miles an hour with that fastball. He has the ability to move it around the strike zone. Look at his numbers against the Jays. 16 saves, 5-1, an ERA of 1.03.
Staying patient, and he's worked the count 3-1 with Marco Scutaro on deck.
3-1, you can look one pitch in one location now. He's already homered to left field, and they're staying away with that fastball.
Ball 4. Snyder works a walk, loads up the bases. The veteran now, Marco Scutaro, gets a chance at Papelbon. Well, the Blue Jays, and you said this earlier, they have been on the comeback trail, it seems, all night long.
Yeah.
And they got behind by 3 after 7.5 innings. But here we have the bases loaded, 2 out, and the potential go-ahead run is standing right there at the plate in Marco Scutaro.
No grand slams this year for Scutaro, but he's had 6 hits in 13 at-bats.
And hit a monster home run on Sunday. This one lined to right field, and it drops in front of Drew, a base hit. And Encarnacion is in. Here's Barajas, and the Blue Jays are within 1.
Wow. The first 2 batters go quietly here in the 8th inning, then single walk, and Scutaro. First pitch, fastball, inside out swing, singles into right field. J.D. Drew was playing deep, respecting extra bases, and now has to pull up and play it on a bounce. If he's playing regular depth, he makes that catch. He breaks on it, makes the catch, but he played a couple of steps back, respecting extra bases from Scutaro, not allowing that tying or go-ahead run to get in scoring position. It drops in, and just like that, Jays are down by 1.
And as fate would have it, here's Toronto's home run leader, who is 2 for 9 career against Papelbon. But this is a confident Darren Hill, leading the club in pretty well all the offensive categories. The tying run is at second base. Papelbon with the first pitch, and it's low for ball 1. Hill with a pair of doubles tonight, both coming off Josh Beckett. Jonathan Papelbon has never blown a save against the Blue Jays. The 1-0. They appeal, and Hill didn't go. That's Andy Fletcher working first. So it's 2-0 on Hill.
Papelbon couldn't believe it. You see him turn towards Fletcher, the third base, or excuse me, the first base umpire. 2-0. Looking for one pitch right here.
Eyes zeroed in on home plate. Oh, and he fouled it back.
He had a healthy cut at that fastball. Just have the approach that you had back in the 5th inning when he turned on that fastball from Beckett. Remember, he used his hands? Just use your hands. Jonathan Papelbon is going to supply all the power. Just make sure you get ready to hit and you get the bat out in front. Get it out there.
Here's the pitch inside, 3-1. Adam Lind on deck for the Jays. And the pitch. Ball 4. Bases loaded.
You have to wait for just a second. It was pretty obvious that Papelbon wanted to use his fastball against Aaron Hill. He was going to challenge him with his best stuff. Aaron Hill is a good fastball hitter, but he's also a very patient hitter. Let's go pitch by pitch. That at bat that we just saw from Hill. He's going to start him off with a fastball, and it's just under the knees. And then he tries to get him with a slider. Aaron holds up. Good healthy swing, 2-1. They try to go back inside. It's off the plate. And then this one is high, loading the bases for Adam Lind. Papelbon wanted to challenge Aaron Hill, but he was off. Good patient at bat by Hill. Loads him up, and now the tying run is at third, and the go-ahead run is at second.
And we're about to find out what plan Adam Lind has here.
I'll tell you.
Papelbon doesn't want to fall behind.
I'll tell you his plan. Look fastball.
First pitch.
Just look fastball until you get 2 strikes. You're going to get one.
So Lind has his shot with 2 out. Bases loaded, bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch from Papelbon is ball 1. You've got Snyder at third. Marco Scutero up at second. Aaron Hill now at first. And Adam Lind facing Papelbon. That's right down the heart of the plate, and Lind fouls it away, 1-1.
That looks like the 2-0 swing from Hill. A little bit too aggressive, a little bit too hard. Again, he's going to supply the power. So you just have to be ready to hit. When he comes into the zone, make sure you catch it out front. You don't want to be long against Jonathan Papelbon. You don't want to have a long swing. You want to be short. Go right to the ball.
Fly ball, left field, but Bay continues to backtrack and makes the grab at the wall, and that's it for the Blue Jays in the 8th. They make it very interesting, and they score 2. That draws a smile from Lind. He feels he just missed one. 10-9 Boston.
In the 8th inning, Alex Gonzalez is going to sacrifice him. Squares and put some backspin English on the ball. Casey Janssen misses it and then compounds the error by throwing it down the right field line. couple of runs will score on that play. They would keep the run at third base until a sacrifice fly. 3 runs scored, but the Jays strike right back.
Remember to visit BlueJays.com to register for a chance to win prizes with the Burger King Superfan Contest. And there you look at the eagle, the swan, the hawk. He doesn't like the vulture. It's a dirty bird. It's Jason Frazier, 6 relief wins this year.
He has been outstanding. A 1.91 earned run average, 47 games now for Frazier. He comes in here trying to hold it right here. You can't use your closure and extra innings at home. So he comes in, he gets up, comes in, hold it right here, see if he can win it at the bottom of the ninth.
Some tough customers coming up, though, and there's one of them, Jason Bay. First pitch is a ball high, 10-9 Boston in the top of the 9th inning. And Bay has played his role. A 1-for-3 night. He's scored twice and hit his 26th home run. Here's the 1-0 from Frazier, and it's hit in the air right field. Snyder comes over and can't get to it. He made a nice attempt, but it bounces out of play, and Bay stays alive.
He's faster than you think. I didn't think he had any chance at getting this ball because he's got to shade Bay to the right center field gap. Good effort right there. Just under his glove.
So here's Frazier with a 1-1, and that's out of play. Upper deck behind home plate. Boy, if you like offense, you've enjoyed this one. 10-9 in favor of the Boston Red Sox. And they jumped on top early, a 4-0 lead after an inning and a half had been played. But it's been back and forth, back and forth.
Bullpens are going to settle this one now tonight.
Cito Gaston has now used all but 2 in his pen. Only Brandon League and Josh Renicky, both right-handers, have yet to be used in this game. Now on the other side, Terry Francona has 3 relievers left, all right-handers, but only 2 on the bench. While the Blue Jays have a full complement of 4 players available to come off the bench in the event that extra innings are required. Frazier loses the leadoff hitter, Bay. Walks him here in the 9th inning. Right about when his team needs a shutdown inning to get those bats back up.
Yeah, it doesn't help to walk the leadoff batter. Now, we'll see how Terry Francona plays this one. If they're going to try and play for 1 run, if they bunt Mike Lowell here to try and get Bay in the scoring position, that'll take the bat right out of the hands of David Ortiz. Double play candidate and Mike Lowell, because he doesn't run well.
There's strike 1. Lowell came off the bench on Tuesday at Fenway Park against Detroit and hit 2 home runs after Kevin Youkilis had been ejected for getting into a fight with Rick Porcello of the Tigers. He drills this foul. No balls, 2 strikes. We talked earlier about the fact that Lowell had been cast off by the Florida Marlins. For a swing like his, he landed in the perfect place.
Yeah, I think so. With Fenway Park and the Green Monster, and he's a fly ball type of hitter. I think that's the perfect place for him. can just pepper that wall. And if pitchers stay away from him, he has that ability to shoot balls to right field, hit it down the right field line. You have to learn how to hit in Fenway Park. Someone told me that the first time I went in there, and I said, well, what's the big deal? You could see the wall out of the corner of your eye when you're standing at home plate, and maybe that front shoulder leaks a little bit. And you have to think, I think, as a right-handed hitter, because they're going to throw you away, you have to think right field and then adjust. If something's in, just be quick, and you can just pepper that wall.
Frazier now with a 2-2 pitch, taken foul by Lowell. Frazier just picked up his 6th save of the year in the victory on Friday night at Tampa Bay. Roy Halladay's 13th win.
It's been a productive season.
Very productive
for Jason Frazier. 6 saves, 6 wins. He's pitched in a variety of roles just this season. Saw him in the 8th inning. We've seen him earlier in the game. You mentioned the hawk or vulture,
whatever he wants to call himself.
Like to call, but those guys are important guys at the end of the game. As the ball's lifted to left field, and now he's closing.
And Frazier decided at the end of last year that he needed to make some kind of a change. He felt that in the major leagues, being at that time a 2-pitch pitcher, a fastball and slider pitcher, he needed one more pitch to make things a little more difficult.
Didn't he make a change a couple of years ago also? He junked his
curveball.
His curveball and went more to a slider. That was his 2nd pitch. So you have to make adjustments. Veteran, rookie, doesn't matter. You have to make adjustments along the way.
He faces now David Ortiz, who has scored 3 times tonight. He doubled and scored in the 1st, driving in 2. Hit a home run in the 4th inning. Walked and scored in the 8th. And look at that air ball.
Got him.
Barajas with the throw down to 2nd, but Bay slides in safely. And now nobody's covering 3rd, so Marco Scudero runs over to the bag. Boy, did that ever come back quickly.
Yeah. If you Cadillac it, if you're the runner at first base, Bay, you're out. But he breaks hard as soon as the ball gets by Barajas. Watch this ball ricochet right back to him. Quickly.
Great play by Barajas.
Bang, bang at second base.
Barely had the mask off. And he's able to pick up the carom. So now Bay into 2nd, and with first base open, they'll just put Ortiz on.
Yeah, you have to. You can't let the big man pick up that run. You take the bat right out of his hands and take your chances with Nick Green. I guess that's the difference for David Ortiz, having Manny Ramirez hit behind you or having Nick Green hit behind you.
Major difference. In this case, Ortiz hitting 7th and Green hitting 8th. Not the 3-4 that we were accustomed to seeing when Ramirez was playing for this team. But there is Frazier now facing Green with runners at 1st and 2nd in the top of the 9th inning. Tip your cap to the Red Sox. They've done a pretty good job of answering the Blue Jays whenever the Blue Jays came back and got close. Boston was able to add to the lead, and in this case, they're hoping to stretch it past a 1-run lead. 5 for 12 tonight with runners in scoring position. First pitch to Nick Green is a little wide, 1-0.
That's been the problem. We showed that graphic for the Red Sox hitting with runners in scoring position. Second half swoon. Not so tonight. They've been very good. I happened to catch the Los Angeles Angels game against the Baltimore Orioles last night on Rogers Sportsnet. And they were talking about the Angels hitting with runners in scoring position. They've had a couple of games this year where they've had 12 hits in one game with runners in scoring position.
12 hits?
12 in one game. That's cashing in some runs right there.
That's ridiculous. There's strike two. You think of what that Angels team has gone through this year, right from the beginning of the year when they had to endure the tragic loss of their young pitcher, Nick Adenhart. And it's a wonder that they've been able to stay atop the division, leading Texas by entering tonight 4.5 games. Over on this side of the continent, it's a lead of 1 for the Red Sox as Green battles Frazier with Alex Gonzalez on deck.
Green has put together a couple of nice at-bats tonight. His last at-bat set up that inning, just last inning. Remember, he fouled off a bunch of balls from Casey Jansen until he got one and ripped it in the left field for a hit right before that bunt by Gonzalez that cashed a couple of runs.
Ground ball to third, and Encarnacion goes to Hill, who then goes to Overbay, and that's the double play. A 1-run lead for the Red Sox into the last of the 9th inning. And the Blue Jays bring up Overbay, Wells, and Ruiz. With Sean McCormick and Martine Guyard, and among the stories they're following right now, can this be true?
No.
Brett Favre coming back to the NFL? Tell me this is not true. Signing with the Minnesota Vikings?
He did sign?
He signed with the Vikings.
Wow.
I thought he was supposed to retire last year.
5 years ago, right? All right.
What a ball game tonight. 10-9 in favor of the Red Sox. Their closer, Jonathan Papelbon, is already a little worn after having to deal with the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 8th inning. He walked a couple of batters, gave up a 2-run single to Marco Scutaro, so he's back out there again, and this time he faces Lyle Overbay, who was 0 for 4.
Stretched out, Jamie, in the 8th inning. It took him 14 pitches to get one out. Papelbon in the 8th inning.
The Blue Jays were able to score a pair charged to Daniel Bard. Papelbon certainly made it interesting, getting a fly ball with the bases loaded out of Adam Lynn. One caught right at the wall to end the inning as the pitch is away from Overbay. 2 balls and 1 strike. All told, 5 home runs have been hit in the game tonight. 2 by the Red Sox and 3 by the Jays. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and it's into center field, a base hit for Overbay. Well, if you're going to go 1 for 5, best to get that 1, trailing by 1 in the 9th inning.
Leading off, and he'll be lifted for pinch runner Johnny Mack. Get it started.
McDonald comes off the bench, and he replaces Overbay as Vernon Wells is now at the plate. Wells tonight is 1 for 4. He doubled and scored in the 4th. And he sends this pitch to center field, but it stays in play for Ellsbury, and Wells is the first out.
They could have got that ball in just a little bit more where he could have pulled it. High fastball from Papelbon, but he's got to reach for it. Couldn't get it out in front and pulled it. Hit it to the biggest part of the ballpark. Another home run threat at the plate, though.
This is Randy Ruiz. Nasty stuff from Papelbon, and it's strike 1. Ruiz hit his 3rd home run of this short season in the 2nd inning. 3 home runs in 6 games with the Jays. Looking for one to drive here against Papelbon. 1 away, McDonald's at first, and he draws a throw.
Not really a threat to steal over there at first base is John McDonald. Does not have a very big lead, is not going anywhere, not with a home run hitter up at the plate.
Strike 2. If you don't think Ruiz can catch up to a major league fastball, consider the men he's homered off of since coming up from AAA. First, Jabba Chamberlain, then A.J. Burnett on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and tonight Josh Beckett.
He can turn on a fastball. Looks like they're going to stay with it, away from him now.
Pops that one up, and that ball drifts and falls harmlessly out of play. What a battle ongoing tonight here at the Rogers Center. "19 runs combined tonight, and the Blue Jays have not had a lead, not once." Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And it's fouled away.
Spun a slider and missed with it. Haven't seen that good splitter tonight from Papelbon.
There's been a lot of fastballs and the occasional breaking ball.
This breaking ball here. Victor Martinez wanted that ball away. And Jonathan Papelbon got away with a mistake. That's throw over, isn't it?
Yes,
That's
it
the
is.
sign for throw over. Just to keep him honest.
And now Martinez looks into the dugout once again. Brad Mills is the bench coach with the Red Sox. Here comes the 1-2 offering, and that's fouled off McClellan's mask.
These are great battles. Power versus power. We saw it last inning. Papelbon versus Snyder. He ended up walking him. And now against Ruiz.
The 1-2. And that looked like a bit of a mistake again.
Yep, fastball rising right onto the inner half. He's taken a long time walking around the mound, rubbing up those baseballs. And has not been able to command his fastball.
Hit high. But this one stays in the park for Jason Bay, and it looks like Randy Ruiz just missed one. Just missed.
Just got under it. Fenway Park, it's a home run. Adam Lynn balls a home run, but not at Rogers Center tonight. You can see Ruiz shaking his head, knowing that he just missed that breaking ball. Spins it again and cannot get it to the outside corner and hits it straight up.
On that play, John McDonald broke from first after the ball was caught, got about halfway down the line and then stopped. And as it turns out, the ball got away from Gonzalez anyway. And he might have been able to pick up second, not wanting to risk it though. McDonald still at first, 2 out. And here is Edwin Encarnacion, last chance for the Blue Jays. 1 ball, no strikes on the hitter. Encarnacion with a 2-out single in the 8th got things going and helped get on base. And the Blue Jays scored twice, making it a 10-9 game. That's high and wide, 2-0. Encarnacion's lone home run for the Jays this year off the best closer in the game. Straight up, Mariano Rivera to deep center field at Yankee Stadium. And he takes the breaking ball for strike 1.
Still haven't seen
the splitter.
That pitch fooled Encarnacion. What was he telling us in New York? That American League, you see a lot more breaking ball. I'd like to see a fastball here.
He gets one, but it's off the plate. So it's 3-1 here. A chance to push up McDonald to second and bring up Rod Barajas. Papelbon now sets. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and it's ball 4. So the tying run will move into scoring position. And Rod Barajas, who has hits in his last 2 plate appearances, a home run and a single, is the man coming up. And that's one of the reasons why Terry Francona is pacing a little bit. This has been a long night for the Red Sox manager, and he's got his closer out there, one of the best in the game. But right now, he's having trouble putting the Blue Jays away.
Struggling with his command. Up over 30 pitches now. Probably going to burn him for tomorrow night. I'm not going to use him back-to-back, but first things first. Papelbon versus Barajas. Jays much better tonight hitting with runners in scoring position.
Here is Barajas, and he sends this one in the air down the right field line. Youkilis goes out, and he makes the catch, and that ends the ball game. What a tussle tonight at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays go down to defeat, and they lose their major league leading 22nd one-run game. For Pat Tabler, Sam Cosentino, and Scott Carson, I'm Jamie Campbell. Good night from Toronto. Let's take it off now to Sportsnet Connected.